I've done a lot of landscaping up here in the middle of the display, and it's time to now get down here back onto my farm, where I've done a lot of grassing, and I built a new fence. I still have to finish the fence, but I'm going to work on the little cornfield and the vegetable field that I started. So what I did was I made a graph on paper using our printer, and I actually used Excel, and I have to drill a lot of holes for a lot of corn stalks. These are my corn stalks. Again, these are the JTT corn stalks, and they are absolutely beautiful little corn stalks. But it's going to take me a lot of these little corn stalks. So I'm going to cheat a little bit, and we're going to talk about how I'm cheating a little later. But all I had to do, and this is just an amazing amount of time, because I've already done a whole bunch of them, and it's unbelievable amounts of time that I had to drill a hole at each one of the intersections of my lines. So I'm going to do that practically this whole graph paper. And then after I get that done, I'll have to vacuum up all the drillings, because that's all underneath here. And then I'm going to plant my corn. This is going to be my cheater cornfield. These are the little corn stalks, but I'm going to need a lot of these little corn stalks. So rather than having to purchase a lot of the corn stalks, what I thought of doing is cheating in the middle or in between a couple of different stalks. So I have these flowers which I've been using in other areas of the layout, which I had said before came on big long pieces of wire that I got from the craft warehouse in Blue Bowl, Pennsylvania, and I thought that maybe I could possibly use these. So I sat down and I started trimming all these off and putting them into a bin according to color. That way now when I go to put some flowers out at the house, I've already got them in color. But then I thought, I can possibly use these. So I sat down and decided, okay, let's start trimming and see what I can come up with. I didn't want this big thick thing at the bottom, so I cut that off. And I had to trim a couple of pieces here. Okay. So there we go. We end up with a fake corn stalk in a fake cornfield. This is not the best way to work on anything, but this is going to have to be the way I'm going to have to work on this, because I tried it the other way by bending down, and bending down wasn't working either. This has got to be one of the most tedious things I've ever done on this train display in the 50 years that I've been involved. I drilled all these little holes, and I've got to now take all these little corn stalks and stick them in the hole. But what happened was, there's regular window screen underneath this plaster, and then there's a thin shell. It's probably about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch of plaster that I put on top of that window screen. Well, unfortunately, I have a feeling, and I didn't go underneath to look, that when I was doing my drilling, as I was poking the drill down through the plaster, it didn't necessarily drill through the screen. It poked and pushed the screen away from the plaster. So now I got to contend with the screen that's underneath the plaster keeps pushing the cornstalk back up again and don't want to stick right. But I'm not going to get down underneath and redo this whole thing. So I'm going to mess with this, and I'm going to get this right, and I'm hoping like heck that the effect is worth all this work, because it is not fun. So here we go. One stalk at a time. And as you can see, I'm trying to intersperse the fill-in stalks as I go along. I have small stalks, fill-in stalks for the ends, because of the fact that on a cornfield, the outside never grows as long as the inside, as high as the inside.